I've been wanting to do a video on Kuma for a little while now. And I haven't really known how to make it. I haven't known how to start it. I didn't know what I wanted to say. I didn't know if I had anything to say that anybody else hasn't said. You know, it's one of the most number one, it's like the highest rated IMDb episode of television out there. It's amongst the greatest episodes of TV because I think it shows a side of humanity that we don't talk about. One Piece shows the ugly and the beautiful, the brilliant and the bonkers, the bizarre and the borderline unacceptable. But through it all, it creates a cohesive story that at any point in time, you might find yourself rooting for a villain. You might find that somebody like Don Flamingo is who you're cosplaying as. Like, you know, nobody cosplays as Hitler and gets away with it. There's a reason. It's because we don't really like cosplaying as villains. But there's something about the One Piece villains that are, even at their worst, relatable, understandable. They're characters that you could imagine communing with on some level, or at least you could understand them in some capacity. Kuma is probably the one character in One Piece that I would want to spend the most amount of time with. Not Luffy, not Nami, not Sanji, not fucking Chopper or anybody else. Kuma. And I think the reason isn't because I feel like I'll get anything from Kuma. I'm not going to get any treasure from him. I'm not going to get any particular powers from hanging out with him. I'm not going to get rich hanging out with Kuma, the Revolutionary Army guy. They don't exactly seem like they're going out and buying expensive clothing or, having a wild time. They all seem to just be constantly suffering. But I think that's what draws me to Kuma, is the fact that he goes through that suffering and he looks like this. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of stuff. There's no amount of people's accolades, likes on Instagram or TikTok or anywhere else that will give you the honest face like this man has. And I truthfully believe that if there's any one thing that One Piece has taught me, it's that I want to live a life where when I'm at my end, however it may be, no matter how much suffering I endure, I want to be smiling. I want to be smiling, and I want to be encouraging the people around me, and I want to be showing people that the path that they are on is not something that is defined in any way except by them. And that no matter how much you go through, no matter how much pain and suffering you endure, because I know some of you out there have endured a lot. Most people have. We don't talk about it very often. Some people do, but it's not necessarily trendy to talk about what's wrong with you or what's happened to you. And I think that Kuma is a good example of that. Do you think he went around and talked about, which person he took what pain from and added it to the pile and consumed that night? Never. It's not because he wanted any awards. It's not because, anything. He wasn't trying to keep anything from anybody. He was just doing his duty. Duty. I made myself. So that there's something in Japan about that sense of duty, that sense of morality, that sense of responsibility that Kuma embodies. There's a sense of religiosity. I mean, separate from the Bible, right? That Bible, Oda even said that Bible doesn't have anything in it. It's not the Bible of Christ, but it is a representation of that. It's a representation of Kuma being this person, being Christ-like. And I don't call myself a Christian because of the connotations that come with it, but I will tell somebody if they ask me that I try to walk in the footsteps of Christ. And I think that Kuma, I could almost say to somebody, I'll walk in the footsteps of Kuma because I want to be like him. I want to be free like Luffy. I want to be strong like Zoro. I want to be talented at being able to cook and manifest things like Frankie and Sanji. I want to be great at helping people like Chopper, but I want to be Kuma. I want to be like all of those other people, all these other characters in certain ways. But there's nothing about this man that I don't want to be exactly like. He's large, he's strong, he's confident, he has his morals, he has his compass internally. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he's willing to give up everything to make it happen. And the thing that he wants to do more than anything, the thing that means more to this man than anything else in the world, the thing a guy who was born into slavery and was taught to praise the sun god of liberation and fought for the liberation of other people, the thing he wanted most, even up until after he had his soul taken out of his body and be beaten and battered as a slave, was so he can cure Bonnie's disease. A child that wasn't his, but that he loved more than anything else in the world. And I think that Kuma, walks in footsteps that remind me of Jesus Christ. But if Nika's the sun god, then Kuma's the heart god. He just this story will just rip your heart out. And I feel like no matter the fact that it is just fiction is irrelevant. That doesn't matter at all. This story of this character is not one that exists outside of the paradigms of humanity. It doesn't exist outside of the actions of real people. And there are real men and women and other people every day that are selfless to this regard, that are willing to give up as much as Kuma is. And those people are few and far between. And they don't ever seek accolades. You'll never really hear about them. And that's fucked up. That's the fucked up part. And I think that not enough people will register the true meaning behind a character like this. Or maybe they will, and it's much longer down the line. He's not just like a great father figure. He's not but he is all those things. He is a representation of something that if more people sought to be like him, the world would be able to bring itself together just a little bit more. And so that's who I want to be like. So, Oda, thank you for writing this character. Thank you for making this goofy bear of a human being with his Bible and his obvious lack of hitting leg day so endearing and so powerful and so enjoyable for so many people. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit a like, maybe follow me. I'll try not to make offensive content. I'll try to make more content like this. I really love these characters in One Piece. I feel like Oda he's giving us a path. He's giving us a map. And I don't know, it's crazy to think that this one man has all this inside of his head. And maybe it's not, maybe there's components that he's gotten from other people, but I'm just so grateful. So I'm grateful for Oda. I'm grateful for my life and how I get to live it and how I get to read this and how I get to watch it over and over again, how I get to come online on here and talk about it, and how I've actually found a lot of people that want to interact with me on this, which is really kind of nice because most of my friends don't like One Piece, at least in IRL. I'm working on it though. I just need to make them watch Kuma. Watch that one episode and it's over. But I love y'all. Peace be with you. Have a great night. Have a great day. Whatever, man. I don't know how to end this video because I didn't know that I was even going to make it. I just grabbed my phone and did this. But let's all just try to be like Kuma.